Hi, this is Micornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with change management, and we speaking about when you are effecting change, what are the challenges? And I'm sure some of you who might have experienced these challenges, but we are dealing with this so that you may anticipate challenges that come along with change management and maybe circumvent them or deal with them just even before they appear. And that's very important. Now, as a leader, you must actually be aware that those changes will come, and those changes must be anticipated in advance so that you can be able, as I said, to circumvent them, to be able to deal with them thoroughly much earlier on. The first challenge that I want to deal with in change management is explaining only, not paying attention to people's emotions. You just explain. Not paying to people's attention to people's emotions. You just explain. This is very important. Now, I want to emphasize that it is very good to explain, but explaining without actually looking at how people feel, it is not going to help it. And that is the reason why when you are dealing maybe with retrenchments, there are people become very emotional about things, and because people know that they might lose their jobs. Now, as a leader, consider the emotions of the people. Don't just say, because I've got a mandate to explain, and you just continue explaining only, and you don't actually sit down with the people and converse with them and hear their concerns and hear what are they concerned about, and also maybe open up the platform for them to say how they suggest, how they see things as well. Let people ventilate, let people talk. Because when you come with the mentality of saying, I'm just going to explain, I'm just going to tell them, and I'm going to dictate them and so on, you're basically trembling on the emotions of others, and the change may not be thoroughly effected. It may not be effective either. And this is very important that I emphasize that. Now, as a young man, we want to embark on this so that you may know that it is very important to explain, but please consider the emotions of the people. And you cannot ignore that and expect the change to be effected. Now, the other challenge that we sort of find in change management, and which I want you to be aware of, to anticipate when you are instituting a change management, is what we call inconsistency. Now, inconsistency becomes a real serious challenge. Inconsistency of leaders. Leaders say different things and conflicting things and so on. And I want to urge you as a leader that when you've got a leadership team, it is going to be very important that you get a buy-in from them first. Because when you are not going to have buy-in from your own team of leaders, from the very same people that are leadership, you are going to have a problem actually to translate it into everybody else who is a subordinate, everybody else who is listening to you. It might be at the workplace, I must emphasize. It might be in an NGO, it might be in a church, it might be in an organization as well, where change management is necessary. There must not be inconsistency of leadership, because inconsistency is when people are getting the message differently, and then they're speaking it out differently as well, and therefore they're communicating from different scripts. They're communicating information that is not the same all the way. And I'm emphasizing this because it's very important, because when there's inconsistencies in your communication, inconsistencies in what you are saying, it actually plants some seeds of doubt in the minds of the subordinates. Now, change management then becomes very difficult because we always say people resist the change and so on. And I must really say sometimes people resist the change because they've realized inconsistencies in what you're saying. Because as leaders, if you're communicating this and another one communicates something else, it is going to plant some seeds of doubt upon the subordinates, and they are going to doubt whether what is called a change is really supposed to be there. They may actually even doubt the purpose of the change. They may even doubt the benefits that you're saying the change is going to bring. So immediately people start doubting. Then change then becomes difficult. And I want to urge you as a young man who is a leader to be able to get buy-in from your own leadership team, to make sure that they understand this change, to make sure that they buy in themselves, to make sure that they know the purpose as well, so that there's no inconsistencies in speaking the message. The other way of inconsistency is when you are saying something and the following day you say something as well. Because the very same individual who's communicating the change could be the one who's inconsistent, could be the one who's saying messages that are mixed messages that will bring mixed responses as well. Because when you are actually saying things are like this, then tomorrow you come with a different script again and communicate something else. What you are doing, you are actually causing doubts in the minds of the people. And you are actually causing mistrust upon the people. And when they don't trust what you're saying, and they are having doubts about what you're saying, and therefore they cannot buy in fully in what you're saying. And that's very important that we emphasize that as well. Inconsistency becomes then a challenge in change management. The other challenge that we always often see in change management is what we call bad role model. Bad role model. In this case, you find that giving the wrong example in small things you do. And sometimes we ignore our behavior every day. Remember that you become actually the only direction of others when they look at your lifestyle. Your lifestyle becomes the only communication to many people. People believe generally in what they see than what they hear with their ears. And that is why eyes of people becomes very important. Vision becomes very important. So people look at things and they comprehend and remember them better because they've seen them. And that is why the optics of anything becomes very important. Now, as a leader, I want you to be careful on how you behave, because there are some things that you may not do them well and maybe undermine whether people will pick it up or not. But I want to emphasize that it's very important that you become consistent in what you are doing, and promises kept as well, behavior as well. Guard your behavior. Make sure that you've got character in front of the people. Your integrity is tight and strong, because when people look at you, you become an example to them. Now, if you do some small things in a wrong way, there are people that are watching, and therefore you're setting a bad example. So you are a bad role model. Now, bad role modeling actually scatters around the issue of change management. So people cannot trust, people cannot believe, people cannot follow, because you yourself don't seem to be knowing how to do things right. So it is very important then that you become very careful on how then you set an example. What you want people to see in you, what you want people to know from your life. So it is very important that you become then the good role model that you want to be, so that people can follow you knowing that you are the good role model that they need to see. Finally, another challenge that we see in change management is what we call indecisiveness. Indecisiveness, because there are many managers and leaders that are very indecisive in nature. Circumstances and postponing the hard decisions and so on, because they are indecisive. You don't know whether for us to do this, to implement it or not. And when you, as a leader, you are indecisive about whether we're going to implement or not. It is better for you to be decisive. It's better for you to say, this is what we're going to do. And though we encourage, as Young Men Empowerment Forum, that you study whatever decision that you're going to make and make sure that you fully understand the consequences thereof. You fully understand the impact of that decision, what it will make to you and to the people, and also to the processes of the department or even the company that you are instituting to. It's very important that you are also still decisive. There are those leaders that are indecisive. And the more you are indecisive, the more people know that you are not telling what you are saying you are telling. Or you are not telling the truth either. Because there are people that because of your indecisiveness. They're forever doubting whether you will come tomorrow and say, but let's reverse this because I didn't think thoroughly about it. So please think thoroughly about processes, think thoroughly about decisions, and before you decide on it, make sure that you've thought thoroughly, you've gone through a thorough work of thinking about it, but moreover, still remain decisive. Because people that are decisive, they become resolute, and people start believing you more when you are decisive. Listen to this. Followers want to follow a leader who is decisive. And I want you to remain with those words and be decisive as a result then, as a young man. I want to end up here today. Your host, Micornus Phokane, the leader, the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. Before I check out today, I want you to be aware that we are having a Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, and the Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. So please follow us on those Facebook pages, click notification button as well. Don't forget our YouTube channel under Young Men Empowerment Forum as well. That's a platform where you need to subscribe. You need to click notification buttons. We've got a lot of materials that we posted there in the past and continually, even what we're going to teach about tomorrow. So please, you will see this on your YouTube channel. Follow us there under Young Men Empowerment Forum. Remember also our TikTok account under Micornus Phokane. So please, we are looking forward to meet you there as well. It's a great platform that will help you as a leader in your life. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.